What's going on, guys? Roger here, QVO Tactical. I just got back from Atlanta, Georgia, from Glock headquarters. It is Saturday, December 6th, and I'm hopping in studio to make you guys this video. I kind of want to make a short, brief, sweet, to-the-point video on the new Glock Gen 6. First thing I want to knock out, though, it is not an FCU, guys. I know a lot of you were hearing rumors, and a lot of us were thinking that might possibly be it, but it is not an FCU, not a modular chassis. So that is not one of the new features, but there are a bunch of awesome new features on the Gen 6. So let's kind of dive into the video. Excuse me, you have to kind of bear with me because I'm kind of just thinking out loud as I go through this. We were just given the lift on the embargo, so I can actually make this video and share it with you guys, and I want to get it out to you as soon as we can. So last month, Glock reached out, said, hey, we have an event coming up on Thursday, December 4th. Would you like to attend? My camera guy, Kevin, and I, the Glock flew us out, put us in a hotel, shuttled us to their headquarters in Smyrna, Georgia, and then actually had a really cool reception after. It was me, Kevin, and like 50 to 75 other content creators, so I'm sure you're seeing different videos floating around. But yeah, let's kind of jump into it. They had like their own version. Like it was a very professional presentation. I'd say it was like Glock's keynote, like how Apple does a keynote every year. I'm a big nerd, sat in front, and I wanted to pay attention to get you guys this information. So Glock is coming out with the Gen 6. I believe it's going to be for sale January 20th. So SHOT Show, that's the first day of SHOT Show. I do believe you'll probably start seeing them in stores beforehand. But the new grip is going to have a palm swell. It really feels more natural in the hand. You guys will see I brought in some shooting footage that me and Kevin, we actually got to shoot them in their range at the Glock headquarters. So more of a palm swell in the grip area. They are calling the new grip texture the RTF6 grip texture. So it's kind of like the old school RT2 and the RT4 put together, which kind of makes sense, makes it RT6 or RTF6. But yeah, super solid in the hand. People are asking like how aggressive is the texture. I would say this, for me, my personal preference, it's just the amount. It's the right amount of aggressiveness that I would want. And I would say it like this. It's enough that you're gonna see the imprint of the texture in your hand, but it's not gonna cut up your hand. And that's how it was for me, and I do like it. They did enlarge the beaver tail, so it's gonna be a much, excuse me, a much higher grip. They were listening to people that talked about the Glock bite. We all have it, I have it, where the slide comes back and bites you, so the beaver tail does go higher. Being a 1911 guy, you guys all know I like the beaver tail. But another thing I wanna mention is that they were really big on emphasizing during the entire presentation that all of these changes or these enhancements or these new features, it was all pretty much customer feedback. So they brought on pretty much the heads of every department, from the customer service to the technical side with like product development to the marketing people, to the sales team. They even had their like chief legal counsel out there, and they brought all the heads, and they pretty much, the consensus was like, hey, from the customer service side, when we're having to, fix any issues, we've seen that people are doing these aftermarket touches to the gun. And so why don't we figure out ways that we can include those aftermarket things like the texture, this undercut that you're gonna see, or the thumb ledge, but still have it be, the Glock reliability. So that's kind of where they got all of this. It was the feedback from all of us over the years. So slide stop, lever, and large border. That actually pertains to me. So I run a really high thumbs forward grip. And when I do that, I typically engage the slide stop on the Glock platform, so I won't get last round hold open. I used to shoot a lot of production matches with my Glock 34 and my Glock 17 when I first started in USPSA, and I pretty much wouldn't get last round hold open. So they have an increased border around that slide stop now that will hopefully you'll not run into that issue. And I was getting slide lock back on their range, so that is good to see. The thumb rest I just talked about. It's textured, it's extended for increased recoil control. You guys all know I'm a big fan of like our thumb clips, any thumb ledge, the antimatter wing, all of the different things. I like those. Anything that I can help reduce recoil, I'm all about. Now it's built in. I'll say this right now, it's nice that it's there, and some people will like it just as is. For me, I'm probably still gonna run like my thumb clip or something else, just because I like to hang my thumb out a little more off of the frame. But where I can see this really benefiting people, there's a lot of departments that won't allow. When I was on Las Vegas Metro, we weren't allowed to modify our guns. You couldn't do stuff to the trigger. Like if I wanted a flat face trigger like this gun, couldn't do it. You were just stuck with the curved. If you wanted, like back then, you couldn't like reduce grips and texture. I think you can now, but with Glock doing this from the factory and it's warranted by them, you know, now it's kind of all done if you're on a department where they don't let you modify. Especially if you have a department that issues your gun and you're getting this issue from your department, I think that's awesome. The new Glock serrations, they're angled deeper into the slide, so it's going to make like your surface engagement, it's more tactile. So when we all do the front racking motion, you typically grab the corners of the top of the slide. Well, now they are deeper cut there and they're tapered, so that way that's where the most purchase is going to be available. So, you know, when you're grabbing the serrations now, there's really less likely of a chance of you slipping on that slide and getting pinched in the injection port. The trigger guard is now undercut. It's going to allow for a higher grip. We all have seen the Glock knuckle. Like we all probably, if you shoot a lot of Glock, you probably have a large middle finger from your knuckle being in there. I like it. For me, I do like a double undercut, but I don't think they're going to go that way just with the reliability stuff. The undercut is fairly thin, so I mean that in a good way. Like they did it nice and deep in there, so it is a good undercut. But again, it's cool to see that coming from the factory. Now, flat face trigger. So each Gen 6 is going to come with a standard flat face trigger, and it's still using the Glock Safe Action system. So no issues with safety or reliability. You're still getting the, you know, one of their heads. He said at Glock we make one flavor of ice cream, and it happens to be a really good flavor of ice cream, and I really like that. And yeah, so you're getting like the boring reliability of Glock, but now with all these features that we do to the Glocks to, you know, enhance them or make them better. You know, I have a bunch of Glock 19s that I've had undercuts done. I've changed out the triggers. I've had stippled. Back when you couldn't get optics cut, I had them optic cut. Had front serrations put in before they were doing that. So, you know, granted, guys, that was 2011, so that was over a decade ago. And I know a lot of people are like, hey, what's taking Glock so long? One thing they also emphasized was they're not going to do anything until they can 100% make sure that the QC is on point and it's going to be reliable for us, the end user. They're really big on not being a company that's going to use their customer base as guinea pigs. You know, I've personally bought products from companies where I feel like I'm the beta tester, and I end up discovering things for that company that they then go and fix. Glock is not about doing that, but with not doing that comes this, you know, hey, what the heck took so long? So I know there are a lot of comments. I posted this on Instagram. I'm already getting a bunch of comments from people that are like, oh, this took Glock this, or we got this before we got GTA 6. So it did take Glock a while, but you know, with it here, I'm also seeing a lot of people like, hey, this makes me want to go buy a new Glock. I can tell you right now, we'll be getting the Model 45. I've already requested one for a T&E, but at the same time, I'll probably just buy one from Ventura. It does fit same holsters. Let me go over that real quick. Holster fitment should be the same for your Gen 5s. We were able to test it at Glock headquarters, and everything seemed to be same fitment, but I do want to get one in shop. That way we can, you know, tinker with it, verify it, test it with all the different weapon lights and everything like that to make sure it's going to fit our entire platform. But I'm 99% sure it's going to be the same. Next, optic ready. So they're all going to be optic ready, but now they have a new optic system. They're calling it the Gen 6 optic system, and it comes with 3 optic plates. The plates are plastic, guys, and I was a little hesitant when I first heard that, but then when you guys will see, I'm bringing in B-roll. The plate sits recessed into the slide, and all it is, it's an alignment plate. It's not even a spacer plate. It's more just about aligning the optic correctly with the slide, so that way your accuracy is on point. But your optic is directly screwing into the slide, which is what we all want. So by using these plastic plates, they're able to give you 3 of them with the gun for RMR footprint, I believe Delta Point Pro footprint, and then I'm not sure what the last footprint was. So I'll have to wait until I get one. But the fact that you're going to be getting all 3 plates, the fact that it is directly mounted, it's not some type of like spacer alignment plate that you're going to go have to purchase. It comes with the gun, and your optic is screwing into it. And by doing that, they're allowing the platform to have a variety of optic mounting systems for all the different optics. So if you're running the RMR footprint, you're running the DPP footprint. I can't remember what the last one was. I know that they said they're kind of working on the Acro and 509T stuff. I don't think it's out yet because that plate is going to have to come up, and they're going to have to figure out something else because it's a clamping style. So I don't think you'll be able to have direct mount with that. That might have to be a metal plate. But for the ones that, you know, screw vertically, where the screws go through the optic into the gun, you're going to be able to do it straight to the slide and have these alignment plates that are included. So definitely happy to see that. What does it all come with? So you're getting the case, you're getting 3 magazines, the speed loader, cleaning set, instructions, pistol case, I already said, and then it does come with 2 back straps. The beaver tail is built into it already, guys, but it's going to come with 2 back straps and then the 3 optic plates, like I said. Couple things. I want to say compatibility with mags. It should be running just fine on the Gen 5 mag. I didn't ask about that. Some people in the comments of that Instagram video were asking like, hey, what about the little line under the magazine release that I think military armament, not military armament portion, military arms channel, they posted a patent they were showing. So that looks like something could be modular, but I don't know anything about that. They didn't address that at all. I don't really know cross compatibility with the V series. Some people were asking about that. I don't know much about the V series. I didn't really pay attention to that when that came out, but I do know this. They had up some pictures where like everything in teal was a similar part, or was a new part, and everything in black was the same or something like that. But cross compatibility with previous generations, I believe, is not going to be a thing. I think it's a mix of parts from Gen 3 to Gen 5. Like they did go back to a single spring plastic guide rod instead of the dual spring that we were seeing in the Gen 5s. But we'll have more when it comes out, guys. I want to get on the range with this, and I only shot maybe 60 rounds while I was there. But we'll get it on the range for a full video because I do want to shoot it next to a Gen 5. I want to say also, starting out, it's just going to be the 19, the 45, and the 17. And I believe the model 47 is now the 17, where you can pop it off and throw a 19 slide on there. I believe moving forward, the Gen 6 17 or any 17 is going to be what the 47 was. So I don't think you're going to have a full-length dust cover 17 anymore. What else? 43X and 48. They kind of made it sound like that eventually the Gen 6 features will make its way to the 43 and 48. But right now, their main focus is obviously their flagship models, the 19, 17, and 45. What else? The flat face trigger does have a shorter length of pull. It's going to be the same weight. So for me, I'd probably just change out the connector. I did like the trigger. Felt really good. Like it's still the same weight though. Like getting fast splits, like I can get as fast as I can with a brand new factory Glock trigger. But I definitely think lowering the weight is going to make it, you know, much faster for me, especially when I'm doing our build drills. Oh, plastic sights. Yes, still comes with the same, I'll say it, the same crappy Glock plastic sights that we don't like. A lot of people were asking in our video, like, hey, it had irons. Glock does make metal suppressor height sights that they sell, and you typically want to use those when you install an Optic, but they're not included, so you still have to go out and buy those. Maybe on the Gen 7s we'll get different sights, but it still comes with those sights. I think that's all I got for you guys. Like I said, I wanted to make, you know, short, sweet, to the point, go over it. If you have questions, leave them down below in the comment section. I know I speak fast, guys. I'm kind of just thinking out loud. We were originally under embargo until Monday, but with everything getting leaked, Glock reached out and said, hey, there's no point in suppressing the content anymore. Go ahead, embargo's been lifted. So I wanted to get in studio and get this video out for you guys. Like I said, I'm filming this Saturday, December 6th. So I'm hoping that you guys are seeing this Sunday, December 7th. But let me know what you guys think. You guys know that I'm primarily a 1911, 2011 shooter, but don't get me wrong, like I get questions all the time in my DMs like, hey Roger, I'm buying my first gun, my brother's buying his first gun, I'm getting my wife her first gun, what should I get her? I tell everybody, Glock 19, and I have 7 Glock 19s, guys. They just work, and you know, and a lot of people, like they are, you know, in the hands of like a lot of law enforcement. I mean, NYPD has, you know, the Glock, the New York Glock trigger. I want to say they're in like 90% of like federal law enforcement hands. So they are popular for a reason. Oh, price point. I want to say, I think what I saw on the screen was $745 MSRP. I could be wrong, but I think that was the MSRP. So I want to say it's typically a little lower than that. They did say that we'll have blue label and red label pricing for first responders. I'm trying to think. There was so much, guys. It was like we were there from like 8 a.m. until just after 5 p.m. or just after 4 p.m. But yeah, I think that's all I got for you guys. If you have any questions, like I said, leave them down below. Glock you know, Caitlin, Brandy, always appreciate you guys taking care of me. Awesome event. I was very, very, you know, humbled and honored that I got to be a part of it and go check it out. I'm kind of a nerd when it comes to the whole tinkering, so you get to do a Glock factory tour, and it makes it like, with how large their campus is and how clean it is, it makes you want to come home. Like all this clutter behind me, I just want to clean up now, because when you go to their factory, it is insane. But it's very cool to see, you know, how it goes from being raw material to, you know, a finished product. So thank you, Glock, for the event, and it was cool seeing everybody. I got to hang out with a bunch of my internet friends that I talked to on Instagram and YouTube. But yeah, appreciate you guys. Let me know what you guys think. This one I'm excited about. Like, I like the Glock 45. Last time I got really excited about the Glock was the Glock 45 when that came out. I went and bought one right away. I really like the full-size grip, compact slide, throw on a Radian ramjet. I'm sure you're gonna start seeing things from Radian. They're gonna have to come out with the new Gen 6 because the barrel is different. There are two little like indentations on the barrel. I noticed that right away because I was thinking I like the Radian ramjet a lot. So if you're a competitor maker out there that you use your own barrel because you're not using a threaded barrel, you're probably gonna have to do a redesign. Yeah, I think I'll say it one more time. That's all I got for you guys. Anything else, let me know, and appreciate you guys. I'll see you in the next one.